This is Christine Brown, and while I have to listen to this podcast as my motherly duty, you have the choice not to. My sons sometimes say some naughty things when they're trying to be funny, but really, they're just being stupid. If you still want to listen, go right ahead. I am not your mother.
Welcome back to the Patriots Dynasty Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Andy Brown. We are going through every game of the Dynasty era, one game at a time, not skipping any of them, right, boys? And with me today are the brothers Brown. Steven, how are you?
Great. Jets Week. You know how much I love those.
You love Jets Week. Greg Brown. Baby Brown. Wheezy F baby. Don't forget the baby.
I'm doing great, Andy.
Yeah? I like your
How are
muscle
you
shirt,
doing?
Greg.
Is the real question. Muscle shirt.
Yeah. You're showing them guns.
Yeah, missed a push-up.
Is that push-up singular?
Even through COVID, your boy getting his push-ups going.
Okay.
Like
I
when
need no
you had
fancy.
COVID or when you during COVID quarantine?
Yeah, no, I had COVID.
Oh, that's badass, Greg.
I'm
You were
recovering.
doing push-ups while you had COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you're a true inspiration, Greg.
Dude, I'm like Goggins or whatever that dude's name is.
You're like ICU nurses right now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like that cat hanging from the branch. in the
Yeah, where
poster.
I wake up at like 4 a.m. and I do like an hour of meditation and yoga, and then I read 50 pages of my book before I start my day, you know. Have a nice healthy breakfast of chia seeds
and herbal tea.
caffeine, yeah. Herbal tea, yeah.
That sounds like a nice day.
Have you guys got COVID yet?
Yeah, remember?
Yeah.
Recently?
I got no, not recently.
Christmas
No.
time.
Christmas time, yeah. So,
Oh yeah.
when everybody got it.
Everybody got it.
Yep.
It's rearing its ugly head.
Well, you didn't get it then.
I got it.
It's Christmas time?
No.
Yeah.
This is my first go through, but everybody at work's getting it. They're canceling shit left and right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like it's making its way around again.
Can we
Is it
go
a new
back
variant, I assume?
to that nickname you said at the beginning, Andy? Wheezy F baby?
Yeah.
Did you call yourself Breezy F baby, Greg?
If you don't say the baby, don't say it at all.
But I remember you specifically calling yourself this for a while.
Well, that's what Lil Wayne used to call himself.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
But that's what you were also calling yourself.
I don't give myself nicknames, but I was called that. Yes.
Don't give myself
Yeah,
nicknames. That's the biggest
okay.
lie of all time.
I was called that, yes, by myself.
Oh, by my fans
Yeah, you.
and followers.
We're all saying the same thing.
You know, I'm an influencer. It's like Goggins.
You're bad at
Goggins.
influencer.
Yeah.
All right. Well, where are we in history?
2004, week 16, right after Christmas.
Day after
Correct.
Christmas. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
If you had to guess what you got on Christmas 2004, what do you think you got?
Ooh, good question.
I would say a 30 rack of some sort of soda,
Oh, yeah. That's a good
a large box of sugary cereal,
Mm-hmm.
and some sort of Patriots paraphernalia.
Yeah. Definitely got something Patriots.
2004.
That was right when we moved into the new house.
Yeah, I was going to say we weren't in the new
Christmas
house yet.
In the new house, yeah.
Because
That's
I remember
new
the
house.
first Christmas in the new house, I got one of the little like iPod minis.
It's definitely new house.
Yeah, you're right. It was 94.
Definitely new house.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely was
Yeah,
new house.
I watched all the Super Bowls in the new house for sure.
That's true. That's true.
I'm
that's
off
true.
by a decade. It's fine.
Jesus, no big deal. Yeah, the point still saying that's probably still what I got for Christmas. So.
Probably still got soda, too.
Oh yeah, case of soda.
Yep.
And a box of sugary cereal because we weren't allowed either of those in our normal day to day because mom was a health nut.
Yeah, I was
Speaking of
probably
herbal tea.
just starting to get suspicious that Santa wasn't real. You
Yeah.
know, 14, 15.
Early high school, you know. Yeah.
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 Wait a second. Some of these things aren't adding up.
I've been ignoring those kids on the school bus for a while.
Yeah.
Hey,
Explain the Jews to me.
Oh God.
We did get for Christmas that year, though, kicking the shit out of the Jets.
That's right.
They kicked the shit out of them in this game.
Yeah.
Pretty good Jets too.
Yeah.
In theory. So there was some talk about that in the media, because the New York media, as they are wont to do, had been critical of the Jets for their inability to beat quality opponents, apparently. And so Chad Pennington, of course, the leader of the locker room, and also Kevin Mawai, who had a super dirty hit in this game, but we'll get to that later. Were sharp in response to media criticism, the two of them. Said Mawai following the Jets' win over Houston, referencing New York's earlier defeat of the Chargers. San Diego is 9-3. We're 9-3. Is San Diego not a good team? Which, makes sense because they had...
Call them out.
Yeah, so they had beaten the Chargers, but they had also lost to the Steelers, who are fucking wagon this year. So everybody's losing the Steelers, including these Patriots, right? But there was still that whole chatter about, the Jets can't beat a good team. And so Chad Pennington coming back from an injury to his rotator cuff, I think they said.
That's what they said.
He had his own little spat with the media because the week before this, they played Seattle. And I think it was his first game back, maybe something like that.
It was.
And so he'd been getting a whole bunch of flack about not playing well before the injury or during the injury or because of the injury or whatever. And came out in that game, threw 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. They beat the pants off the Seahawks. And then he decided he wasn't going to talk to the media after a win. And then had like a whole bunch of during the week, a whole bunch of back and forth with the media, basically being like, it's an honor for you guys to be covering such elite athletes and all sorts of
I respect that.
Yeah. I'm on Team Chad right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
New York meter's soft, dude. Oh, you don't want to talk to me? I'm just gonna slander you, bro. And then, he's like,
right. And so he comes out. He's like, what do you say? Here's the quote I have. Quote: "Life is all about inconvenience, and as athletes, we face inconvenience a lot of the time, especially when we lose. So I thought, how appropriate to have a big win and create a little inconvenience for you reporters. That's what I did, and it was out of fun. It was out of jest. It wasn't out of malice or being mad or anything like that. But obviously, it created a commotion."
In New York? No. Can't be true.
Yeah. Which, full respect for him for doing that. Sadly, it was short-lived because he would then come out in this game and not play particularly well.
He played terrible.
1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks. Not a great day.
200 yards. He was struggling.
252. But most of those came in garbage time, I think, at the end there.
Even their touchdowns, garbage time, was Santana Moss and Earthwind Moreland.
Yeah.
So that's the real problem. This secondary is still a bunch of Troy Browns, rookies, and just the dregs of Patriots cornerbacks that never lined up.
So I remember, all that talk about, they were super beat up and they still dragged their team to the playoffs. I had completely forgotten about Don Davis, though, who has showed up a few times recently as the linebacker who was converted to play safety and is now Eugene Wilson went down halfway through this game. So he's starting at safety at this point, wearing number 51, looking like basically Gerard Mayo. He's not a small dude. He's not like a undersized linebacker by any looks of it. But out there playing safety and almost has a pick.
Eugene does get a pick in this game, right?
Yeah, he does eventually come back and he gets a pick.
Yeah.
And there was one play too that I picked up where Troy Brown still playing slot receiver, but slot receiver and also slot cornerback, nickel corner. And there was one play that they sent him in on a blitz.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's not even just playing cover corner. He's out there blitzing. They showed his stats. He had 15 tackles, 3 interceptions on the season so far.
5 passes defense too.
Yeah. Playing like a legitimate nickel corner.
Yeah. Does he lead these type of team interceptions or something like that?
Yeah.
Amazing. And he's Belichick's got Troy Brown or Earthwood Moreland, and then all of a sudden he's got to play both of them.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
The secondary is so trash. It's
Pennington,
if you're gonna talk shit, you got to back it up. And he comes
Yeah.
out inside secondary. But they did shut down Curtis Martin pretty good, right?
They did, yeah. This he was the league leader in rushing coming into this game, and they held him to like some real small amount of yards, like 33 yards, I think.
33.
Oh.
Yeah, on 13
That's
carries.
total 18 for 46 yards.
Yeah,
So I mean, in Pennington's defense, he was just having to sling it a shitload.
yeah, but I mean, he also wasn't even slinging a shitload. It was just like he was 22 of 36, and Brady was 21 of 32. It was just the Patriots went on such long, sustained drives that there was no time for the Jets to really do anything.
I mean,
This is actually the best game, this best season of Curtis Martin's career.
Yeah, he actually broke his
Crazy.
Jets record in this game for most rushing yards, and then had another game to go on the season.
Corey Dillon broke the Patriots franchise record for
Exactly, yeah.
this game.
Well, yeah,
And
so
beating
did Curtis
Curtis
Martin, but it was set by him last year in 2003. But yeah, neither of them had great games. Dillon had 29 for 89. But
Yeah.
this Jets defense was like is about as stout as they come. They had allowed 200-yard games to running backs this season. One was to Corey Dillon the first time they met. And the other one was to who's the Bills running back this year?
McGahee?
I think it was McGahee, yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets injured this year.
Not Travis.
Not
Travis
sure.
Henry. He's the best.
No, I don't think it was Travis Henry. I think it was McGahee.
The Fertile Crescent.
Big Hen.
There's no John Abraham in this game either.
Correct.
He was a beast.
Yeah, it didn't seem to matter. Like this was a defensive struggle, as most of the games against Herm Edwards' team were. Like the Patriots went 9-2 against Herm, but the average score was 20-13. Pats. The low scoring game, less than a touchdown.
Brady figured him out at the end there, though.
Eventually, yeah.
Kind of in that like late second half. He was like, all right.
Yeah. The Patriots have already lost their 2 games to Herm Edwards in this podcast, for the length of this podcast. We will not see a loss to Herm Edwards again.
That's excellent. Every time he's up there, you can just chalk it up as a W.
That is correct. Pencil it in, baby.
No, you can just permanent marker it.
Yeah.
You probably could actually, yeah, because it's history. Some other coaches on this Jets team. Not many. You would think, with how good they were on defense, you might have some like names come out of it. But offensive line coach was Doug Marrone, the Bills and Jags head coach. And then the linebackers coach was Bob Sutton. Do you remember him?
No.
He was the absolutely hated defensive coordinator for the Chiefs in 2018 when they lost to the Pats in the AFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And their defense was atrocious. They literally fired him after that game because of how bad
That wasn't the
Chiefs were on defense, apparently.
That wasn't like the Gronk third down one, right? The 3rd and 10 where they did like 3 of them.
Yeah, that was the one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that defense, right?
It was Edelman, by the way.
Edelman had 2 of them, didn't he? And Gronk had 1.
That was a sweet.
I thought you were talking about the Gronk deflected interception that got called back for the
offsides.
Yeah. It's bad coaching.
Yeah.
You guys lining
it?
up offsides.
I don't know about coaching. It's just a dumbass player making a dumbass play.
We watched that game with Mom at Greg's house. That was hilarious as well.
Oh, yes. I've seen
Yeah,
videos.
I couldn't really think what to watch, either the game or Mom, because they're both so entertaining.
Well, wasn't Mom watching it from like your stairs? Like,
Yeah.
not even in the living room? Yeah.
Get like notching up the stairs as it got more and more intense.
Yeah, I get it. We all have our things when it comes to
Oh,
watching
yeah, me
football.
and Greg were twirling the shit out of our hair.
Oh, you twirl your hair too?
Oh, so bad.
I knew Greg was a big hair twirler. Greg, like, you get bald spots. You do it so much sometimes, right?
No?
Especially during like hockey season.
Bald spots, Steve?
That's what I've heard.
That
That's
sounded very defensive, Greg.
right.
Like, I see you're wearing a hat right now.
My hair was falling out in college, but that was just stress related. That was not
From twirling your goddamn hair too much. I know. This is what we're saying.
No,
We're all on Team Greg. Don't worry.
I do have to trim my eyebrow hair so I don't twirl that.
Ooh, gross.
Oh God.
Yeah. 'Cause, Dad's got those crazy bushy eyebrows.
Yeah, I have
He gets
those.
those too. And
See, my eyebrows are just fighting a war for the middle of my forehead,
uh-huh.
so I got to shave between them on a regular basis.
You should go full uni, Andy.
No, I can't do it.
Why not?
David style.
Can't do it.
It's cool now.
No, it's not cool now. It will never be cool.
Tell that to Anthony Davis.
I will. I'll also tell it to his
Tweet him.
caterpillar.
I'm sure no one else on Twitter has thought to tweet that to him. He'd be the first one.
Undoubtedly.
It's like a trademark, Andy. You start a new job, you got to come in and like fire
Establish-
from the hip, dude. Get your name out there. Is that the unibrow guy?
I'm
Yeah.
not about to take
Greg's
any
got-
sort of facial hair comments from Greg Brown, who showed
Why
up
not?
to.
People love that.
Yeah,
even
Greg's
the,
going to work as the half beard guy.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Gave a presentation to the C-level people with half a beard on your face.
No such thing as bad publicity, Andy.
That's what Pennington's doing. He's just stirring the pot, getting the good publicity going.
Yeah.
By not speaking, he knows it's going to generate a lot more publicity than speaking. So he's playing chess. The New York media is falling right into his trap.
Sure. That sounds right.
I kind of want the Jets to be good again, just so I can hear them like lose their minds,
No, I do not. That's the last thing I want.
I don't know. Sad Jets fans are they're fantastic.
They are, but there's also there's like levels of sadness where low expectation sadness is one thing, but high expectation sadness that hits different. You know?
Does. That is fair.
And I want to see some of that again.
Yeah, but what really hits hard is like the just continual no expectation sadness. That shit will fester.
Yeah, I think Steve has
Browns
a point.
fans, Trevor, that kid's very sad.
But they're still kind of like lovable about it. And there's something about the Jets that is just, it's so.
No one's feeling bad for him.
Well, I think it's just because they have such a complex about it too, because they're New York City,
Uh-huh.
They're New York,
Yeah.
so they should be the best. They're the best city in the world. So their football team should be the best. And it just, because
big our
it
media
isn't.
market is, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
It's a
So big we
shithole
have two
too.
teams. Everything.
So I think that there's just this extra piece of it that's just so
Yeah,
much
Yankees fans telling you how many rings they have.
better. Yeah.
Yep.
From
47 rings, bro. 47.
From pre 1916.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Fucking Bernie Williams.
Yeah. Oh man.
You hear Dallas is trying to get a second NFL team?
I saw that.
Yeah.
That's just what they need.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think Jerry Jones would focus on his own team for a little bit.
Well, it wouldn't be him, right? It would be.
Why would you put two in Dallas, though? That's the dumbest shit ever.
I don't know. Why would you put two in New York?
Just put another one in Texas. There's like a million cities.
I think Dallas is pretty huge. That's probably why.
Why not just put one in St. Louis?
Nah.
Give one to Canada. Give Buffalo to Canada. Give them to Toronto. It'll be fine.
I think they might get upset about that.
No, that's okay. I gotta say, Bills fans, they don't know what to do with themselves these days.
They don't.
They don't know how to handle.
It's fine. It's like the first time you get drunk. You're just like, whoa, what is going on?
Yeah,
They haven't hit the puking stage yet, though.
that's true. Yeah. Well, you would think that the 13 seconds would have been kind of.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That'll bring him back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Josh Allen pimping that home run in the charity softball game?
No.
No.
Oh, dude, it might be the best pimp job on a home run I've ever seen.
Really?
He just the place was like packed too. It was like there's like thousands of people there, and he just like smashes one and like 360s out of it and like starts like doing like WWE stuff to the crowd, and it was just so smooth and perfect. It was like, wow, this guy's a pro. Is pro.
Oh boy! Don't tell Steve that.
Better
Steve's
than-
still on the wheels are going to fall off Josh Allen train.
No, yeah.
Right?
I'll never.
No, you must have jumped off that
At
wagon.
some point, it'll come. When he's older, even.
I love it. I love it. All right. What about Tannehill?
Yeah, I'm
Tannehill
still on that pick
sucks.
too. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, he sucks.
Well,
See,
let's do a quick little sojourn into the draft then. So we're talking about current day. Well, I believe we predicted Steve, I think you said wide receiver, right?
No, I said trade up for the fat boy that the Eagles got.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the defensive lineman. Greg, you
Greg
said
White, James Williams.
You said wide receiver,
Yeah.
and I said because you two picked that, they were going to draft an offensive lineman that nobody had ever heard of.
You even called the trade back in. You said trade back and draft an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think I probably did. Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't predict who it was, so it's wrong.
I said it was somebody nobody had ever heard of.
That's obviously a given.
There's a lot of people no one's ever heard of, Andy.
Not picked in the first round, there isn't. Just one.
Specialty.
Just the fact that his name is strange too is just
It's perfect.
it's like they're fucking with us. You
Dude,
know?
his jersey, because he's a first round pick, is a strange one. And it's perfect.
That he doesn't wear gloves and he's an offensive lineman.
Oh, he's
Also
amazing.
hilarious.
He's got the old school helmet too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chattanooga.
You can get behind that.
Tell me that ain't a blue collar place to go. Chattanooga.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God damn.
I'm 100% on board.
Oh, yeah.
Great pick.
Sold. But
So yeah, give me the most useless thing in football media is the draft grade. So I want to hear yours.
dude, the best part about the draft is you can just watch the highlights that show the best parts and you're just fucking hype city, bro.
Yeah.
I remember Nikhil Harry highlights still.
You know? If they ever do it or not, who knows? But he's the best. So obviously A+. I've only watched awesome highlights of the dudes.
Yeah. Do you see how fast Tequan Thornton is?
That guy is
wicked
so
fast. He's gonna be
You know what else I like about him? He's got that little shimmy right off the line.
Yep.
He's got that first little stutter step and then he can get by you.
Yeah, he's also probably like a paper bag, you know, just floating in the wind.
Yeah, so we can't bring him to Buffalo because he might get blown away. But other than that, I mean, he's still got 17 games you can play him at.
Taekwon paper bag Thornton.
If he can catch it, he can be sweet. That's the real question. Who knows if they can catch it or not?
Yeah. What do you think about them not drafting a linebacker?
Okay.
I don't like that. I think our linebackers are bad.
I don't. I think they all got redshirted last year.
Yeah, you don't even know the guy who got redshirted.
Why would you say they
it's not
redshirted though? But there was no one good starting ahead of them. So why redshirt them if they're good?
Because they're rookies. And also one of the guys coming off the ACL.
Yeah,
They're like
injured.
top pick. Was it Cam McGrone?
I don't know. I think you're viewing things through your Patriots colored glasses. You know.
No, I
where
think
it's-
I just watched their college highlights. They got drafted.
Yeah.
So A+.
What else am I supposed to go off?
Did you see how cool
Have
was in
seen?
college?
you seen Ronnie Perkins' highlights?
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're sweet, but does
That guy's going to be the next Willie McGinnis, bro.
Exactly. Get on board, Greg. Choo choo.
We also drafted the next Troy Brown, right? Well, they were comparing one guy to Troy
The
Brown.
defensive Troy Brown.
Wow.
Who can play offense. So he will be the defensive Troy Brown.
Sign me up.
And he's
Who's
going to be
Which one was that? Jack Jones?
Is,
Marcus Jones, I think.
dude, that's going to be tough if they both coming in. The last name Jones and the quarterback's already named Jones.
Yeah.
Both playing the same.
And they also have Jonathan Jones in the defensive
and then
backfield.
have that in that same position also.
That's going to be a mess.
a mess of Jones.
So no, I think this is where we can do the Belichick
You think
genius.
he's playing chess. They're
Yeah.
all gonna have the same name on the back.
Exactly. And give them all like very similar numbers,
Just
like
one
38 and
roster spot.
33.
It's actually three guys.
Yeah. Well, no, you just put them out there and then the quarterback looks around. He's like, I don't know which one's which.
They're all pretty small and undersized guys too.
Yeah, the old 55-man roster. Belichick fucking pull one over on him again. In my head, those two guys are the same person. Until proven otherwise, two guys named Jones in the third and fourth round playing the same position are, in my head, the same thing.
Same
yeah, for sure.
sure.
But they also have awesome highlights, wicked fast.
No.
One guy does
One's a punt returner.
Catches it, punts, returns, plays DB.
Oh, man.
Dude, we got a kid for my over 30s men's soccer team. Like, yeah, not the most competitive shit in the world. This one kid wanted to like be on the team, and he sent the guy who's running the team sent him his highlight video.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. He's actually pretty good, but I give him a lot of shit for having a highlight video.
Oh, fuck that. That's only because you don't have one.
Yeah.
I guess.
But
But
enough highlights to even make a video.
also, like, who's recording the shit?
Oh, his mom.
You're playing an
obviously.
over 30 league.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, in our over 30 league, we used to have one guy who would just like set up GoPros in the corner of the The goalie, remember, man?
Well, that makes sense because you don't have to move it for a goalie, you know?
Yeah.
Boom, done. GoPro's recording it.
Yeah.
You just
What's that?
You're like
Have you seen the any of the USFL?
I have not.
They have the helmets on the cameras on the helmets of the players.
Oh, cool.
No, it's bad.
Oh, is it?
It's terrible. I don't know if like they don't have good enough quality cameras, but whew, boy,
is it super shaky?
Super shaky.
Yeah.
Quality's terrible. It's not good.
That used to be remember NFL 2K5? You could play as first person, and I've always wanted to see a camera angle from then. Ever since that,
The ones on the refs
Are bad.
those were great. Remember?
I thought they were kind of bad quality.
No, they're great.
I mean, well, this
I don't
was
know why
back
they-
in like the 2003, 2004 era when they had them.
Yeah.
I remember one ref got plunked right in the face
Yep.
when he was wearing it.
That shit was must-watch TV.
That was worth it just for that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing. All right, tell
There
me
was
more about.
fucking nobody there though. Like I turned it on. I watched like 10 minutes of a game the other day, and like I honestly was like, "Are they allowing fans at this thing?" Because that's how few people were there at the stadium. It was sad. Yeah,
That's not good. Speaking of no fans, tell me about this Jets game, Steve.
Only fans.
Jets fans aren't real fans, so there's no fans there.
Touche. Well, there weren't any by the end of this game because the Boo Birds were out at halftime.
Yeah,
I had a question.
Third quarter.
Have Greg Google.
Oh, this should be good.
Does Corey Dillon's rushing record still stand for the Pats? Yes, because
I'm pretty sure it does because he was the last of like the workhorse backs, right? Patriots don't do that anymore.
Has anyone beat Curtis Martin's, or is Curtis Martin number 2? Still,
Stat check? Doesn't look like
Me?
a stat check.
Yeah.
No, the other stat check guy we have on this
Yeah.
fucking crew.
I have to unplug
I know. We
My
pay a
keyboard.
bunch of them.
to put my microphone in, so you can either get stat check or speaking. Don't answer that question. I know what you're
Wait, I'm sorry. No, just go back.
Where,
Not gonna do
where are you
stat.
going with this, Greg? This is an easy one. And then my third question is Jim Nance still third? Because I didn't even know he played in the Patriots.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a different Jim Nance.
Oh,
Yeah,
No, it's the same Jim Nance.
the commentator.
yeah.
Oh,
Same guy. Yes.
so
So right now, Corey Dillon for rushing in a season. Corey Dillon, 2004, 1,635 yards, number 1. Curtis Martin, 1995 with 1,487 yards is number 2. And you're right, Steve. Jim Nance, number 3. There is no way you're going to guess number 4.
Stephen Ridley.
God damn it! First try. 2012, 1,263
Really?
yards. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good for a little bit there.
Not bad, not bad. And then Craig James, Jim Nance, and John Stevens. Number 8, 2016.
Sam Ben. Oh, no. 2016.
Mm-hmm. Surprising.
And Jarvis Green Ellis.
No, but he's on. He's number 16. He is the season 16th is the last 1,000-yard rusher. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis with 1,008 yards.
It's
But in
not
2016
Morris, right?
Who?
It's not Morris, right? Or Maroney.
No. With 1,161 yards, LeGarrette Blount
Oh, yeah.
to go along with 18 touchdowns, which I believe is the record for touchdowns in a season for
Oh,
LeGarrette
geez.
Blount.
Little Blunt.
Forgot about him.
Blunt force trauma, baby.
What a turnaround that guy had from punching that dude at Oregon.
Right.
Huh?
Ooh, here's an interesting one, though. The least amount of rushing yards in a season by a New England Patriot. Number 1, Lee Johnson, the punter. 2001, negative 19 yards.
That makes sense.
Number 2, 1997, Troy Brown with negative 18 yards on 1 carry.
Makes less sense.
Negative 18 yards on 1 carry. It must have been like an end around or something. That's ridiculous.
Or a trick play that went wrong or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Matt Gutierrez is on here in 2007. 5 carries, negative 13 yards.
I don't think that Jim Nance, the commentator, is the same Jim Nance on that list.
Prove it.
Yeah, can you stat check that? Because I thought Jim Nance, the football player, was black.
I'm looking at the commentator Jim Nance, and there's nothing on his Wikipedia about him playing football.
What's his middle name?
James William Nance III.
Oh yeah, they're different people.
You fucking dude, confidently incorrect.
Obviously.
Yeah.
That's how we roll on this podcast. You're welcome. Speaking of Jim Nance and Phil Simms, Steve, did you have any comments on the commentators?
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah. Did you like when they gave each other their own books for Christmas?
No, I didn't.
Except Phil Simms wrote a book, but Jim Nance didn't, so he gave him Dick Emberd's book instead.
So, he said they were talking about Vrabel. He said he's going to coach someday. That's what he says. So
Yeah.
they're really foreshadowing.
Yeah. Well, they've had that come up a few times this season.
Yeah, you're right.
Vrabel's like, he's a coach on the field and he's super smart. He's definitely going to coach this season
Just
or when he's done.
That's right after Vrabel olayed that left tackle.
Yeah, for the sack.
Smack on third down right at the end of the 2 minute.
Oh yeah.
The end of their 2 minute half.
Yeah. But if you find that highlight on the website, it'll be there. PatsDynasty.com.
Gave him the old Pamplona.
Oh yeah.
And then they all
Whoop-de-doo.
he was all about foreshadowing. It was beginning of the fourth quarter. Jets were third and like 20 something.
Yeah.
And it was still like 16, still a thing, sort of like 2 scores, barely.
Yep.
And then Phil, he's like, "Oh, on third and long, you just try not to turn it over." Pennington throws a terrible pick. Turned to like the 15-yard line. Couple Corey down runs later, it's now
out of reach.
23 or whatever it is.
Yeah, because he was. But they were talking about going for 2 because the Pats were up 23-0 and the Jets scored a touchdown. He's like, "No, it's a good thing not to go for 2 here unless you need it." And I thought, it's 3 scores. You may as well go for 2 on all of them. Because if you get it, you're up 24-23. So why wouldn't you go for 2?
Extend the game.
I don't know, dude. All
I
this
guess
go for it,
maybe
not
at
math
6
nerds. Let's ask the new Dolphins coach.
I'm sure there's something out there. So if anybody's listening that can explain it to us. I feel like you're supposed to go for it early now, the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
If you're down 2 scores or something.
Yeah, if it's 2 scores, you're supposed to. But if it's 3, I would think you'd want to extend the game.
I don't know. But either way, if you miss that, because you have to go for 2 at least twice, right?
Yeah, it's better to know early.
Right. Yeah. So you go for that first one to see if you get it or not. Because even if you don't get it, you can still get the next 2 and tie the game. So why not go for the first one?
Yeah.
Whatever. Fuck it.
It should never make sense. It's like the NHL now, they're pulling the goalies with like 4 minutes left if they're like down 2 goals. And like the numbers say that's what you're supposed to do, but then they'll just immediately give up an open netter. Game over.
Every time.
Well,
Down
that
3.
didn't work.
Whoops. Has it ever worked?
Yeah, it must have.
With hockey.
It has to have worked at least once, otherwise it would have stopped it.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do like best and worst on this game?
Well, all right. I have a special treat, but we can get to that maybe when we're done with.
No. Give us
No, I mean, you can do your special treat before you best and worst.
because you don't even have
Okay.
any best and worst because you didn't watch the game. So this can.
I didn't, but I put a lot of effort in the bye week here.
Okay.
So basically, instead of watching the game, what I did is I went back and I listened to Andy's entire solo podcast.
Oh, I just listened to this as well, Greg,
Yes.
when I was driving to New York to see Ellie.
Yeah. So I figured I'd give my thoughts on, how the podcast went.
Oh, this should be good.
Yeah. So my initial thoughts are
First of all, once you've done this, can you leave this as a review of the podcast on iTunes?
Oh,
No.
great idea, Greg.
no,
We need
but,
more reviews.
Yeah.
Kind of a bit of a snooze fest.
That was my initial thoughts. Let's see here.
I should never have
Andy
told you about
obviously-
this app.
Did you edit this together, Andy?
No.
Almost like she's never watched a football game before because even simple things surprise him.
Who could that be talking about? I wonder.
Well, that's
You're
Andy.
like, I'm not going to get mad about the commentators. Then immediately
This
gets
was-
upset about the commentators.
This was months ago. This was before my epiphany of I'm not going to get mad at the announcers.
And the thing is, it was like, well, where was Steve too? Like, why was Steve not on this
He's
podcast?
just inactive. They didn't actually say why, which has happened before, where I think he just maybe doesn't particularly practice well or something like that.
Stevie didn't practice well.
We got
That
cut.
feels right. We do a dry run of this, as you can probably tell by how polished it is.
Uh-huh.
And I think he didn't show well in the,
It's
in
a
the
dry
practice
run.
dry run. Yeah.
But also Greg wasn't there, but like, where was Greg at?
Tough look, but this is what happens when you build an offense around one guy and he decides to retire to go smoke weed around the world, which I really blame him for.
Can't really blame him. In the words of Andy Brown, you can't really blame him.
You just spent a lot of time thinking about this, Greg.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I love it puts in this much effort into not watching the game too.
Mm.
Every week.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, but we know that Andy's not like a superstar. He's just like a role player.
I'm a grinder.
Kind of the epitome of a street free agent. Was out there as a bit of a warm body.
Bit of a warm body.
What's that word? For, your body.
So yeah,
Fuck that dude. Yeah.
fuck that dude.
Fuck that dude. That's right.
Yeah, it
So-
sounded like you edited out a bunch in between, so it sounded like.
Yes.
But I thought you did. You didn't edit that at all. That was one take.
It was a software that, it was one take, but it pulled out all the ums and ahs and things like that.
Oh, because that made it way harder for me to pull the audio.
Really?
Yeah, because it crunches it together. So it's
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only ever used it on that episode.
You have to time it perfectly so I'm not catching like the front end of the next sentence or the back end of the previous one. So this took a lot of takes to get.
I was going to say how, because I've seen you use a computer. You don't do it particularly well.
You can't even unplug your microphone to stat check a thing or something.
Right. So
And stat check and talk.
I'm a little curious. How did you manage to put this together?
Well, Andy,
Because you don't seem like somebody who has audio editing software in a computer, is all I'm saying.
you know what the hardest part was though?
Kind of a bit of a snooze
It
fest.
was a bit of a snooze fest. So, it was really more boring than anything.
It's only because you listen to it 45 times
Yeah,
to get all these clips.
I'm addicted to this app now.
Yeah, you're welcome. I knew I should not have told you about it.
Yeah.
What time are you?
This one.
COVID-19!
I know what this is.
I have no idea.
It's that crazy preacher guy, Pat something or whatever.
Uh-huh. Yep.
You can't really hear that one. He's trying to blow it
No.
away, right?
Yeah, he's blowing away. Well, the wind of God is blowing away COVID-19.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Mhm.
I feel like that's not how that works. And he's probably blowing COVID-19 on people now.
Yeah. Yep.
Ironic, isn't it? All right. So should we do best and worst after that?
Yeah.
So Greg, I think you should go first and you should do best and worst on that last episode you listened to.
Okay. Let's see here.
I know what your worst is.
I mean,
And it's almost like he's never watched a football game before because even simple things surprise him.
Is that your best or worst?
Because it's almost like he's never watched football before. Because even the simple things confuse him.
I'm a simple man. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you got the Deerdorf jersey.
So what's your best? I do. I have a dude or
Yeah,
jersey.
Yeah, that can just like keep the chains moving until you can find your playmakers.
Yeah. Playmakers like me and Steve, like that's what we had to do with Andy there is just
Yeah.
slot him in to eat up some late innings when in a
Street
blowout.
free agent.
Yeah.
You're going to look me in the eye
He's
and tell me that Steve is a
warm
playmaker.
Oh yeah. Make all the plays, Andy.
All the plays. Oh, good Lord. All right, Steve, give me your best and worst because you actually watch this game, unlike the
Yeah.
playmaker, apparently.
For sure. I don't know if it's the best from the worst, but Chad Pennington, and it's like Mac Jones to me.
Yeah. With worse decision making, I feel.
I mean, it's too early to tell really with Mac. He's still 1 year. And Pennington's hurt at this point. This is post the Jets putting him in the 4th preseason game when he breaks his wrist, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that we're going against Chad. I'm not holding if Mac doesn't get hurt, he's going to be better than this. But they apply it, their style of play seems very similar.
Yeah, there is something about the two of them that I found similar as well. But you're right. I don't know if that's the best or worst.
Hope he doesn't throw a pick like that when he did to Brewski, because that was a snag.
Whoa.
That was an awesome pick by Brewski. Might be his best ever.
I think we should put that as a best, is just Teddy Bruschi in general this season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Peak Teddy Bruschi, I think, is underrated because of how good his hands are as because he's more of a run stuffing, blitzing linebacker, but his hands and his athleticism, getting those lanes and actually bring those balls down instead of just tipping them. You don't see that very often anymore. Sticking with that.
My worst is tough game for Matt Light.
Yeah, both tackles, I think. Yeah. Felt like there was a free rusher coming off the end pretty much every third down.
Jonathan Vilma beat him clean for a sack.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
That was the Jets' first round pick this year.
It was. It was their whole defensive line was first round picks except for one guy. I don't remember who it was. They mentioned that.
All right, and then my best, and I got an ultimate best.
Oh boy.
Patrick Bass was actually running the ball a little bit in this game.
Yes, he was.
They called a 4th down stretch play to the fullback. That was ridiculous. In the second quarter.
It worked?
Yeah,
converted.
Because they did not see it coming at all, because who called that shit?
Right.
And Pat, he had another 15-yard run too that they didn't see coming.
And wasn't Robbie Abdullah the fullback on that play too? It was the backups running the ball. Yeah.
That's one of those ones where if it doesn't work, everybody gets wicked mad.
Yeah.
Brandon fucking Bolden? Are you kidding me? That's what we're doing on 4th down.
But they'd been with Corey Dillon, has been such tough sledding out there. So they take him out and they say, okay, they're definitely not going to run it. It's Pat Pass.
Yeah.
Doing Patrick, pass protection.
Patrick passed 4 for 17.
Yeah.
Over 4 yards of carry.
Good job, Patrick.
Yeah.
They did try it again later in the game, and it did not work.
Correct.
For the second time.
But that wasn't with him, though. That was with Corey Dillon.
That was Patrick Pass again.
Was it? All right.
Yeah. And then my best was, this is awesome. The Patriots score. I think they kick a field goal right at the very end of the first half. And then they squib kick it off because there's a couple of seconds left, right? And the Jets fuck the squib kick up.
Well, Vinatieri doinks it off the first guy that stands directly in front of the kicker, who as soon as he runs up the kick, turns around and starts running backwards for some reason. Doinks it off his dome, and then it starts or off his shoulder pad or something. It starts going squirrely, and then the Jets can't handle it, and the Patriots recover
with 1 second left.
Yeah, and so fuck, we're trying to field goal
try from Vinatieri. So
yeah.
They can't even handle the end of the half. It bounced at least twice in front of that guy who had a chance to catch it. That fucked it up, and it hit him right in the face, and just pass recovered it. 1 second left, and then Phil and the Bluebirds are out.
Yeah,
they walk off at the end of the half after the Patriots missed. He's getting the shit booed out of him.
Yeah, and that was after Adam Vinatieri actually missed the field goal too.
Yeah, he missed the field goal there.
On the day after Christmas, no less.
Yeah, right. That was an awesome Christmas present from the Jets.
Yeah.
Just a little late, but then we missed it. Just a little late, a little left.
I mean, Jets fucking up on holidays against the Patriots. It's a pretty on-brand thing, don't you think?
That's true. It's foreshadowing that game.
Yeah. So do you know there's only been a team has only scored 3 touchdowns in under a minute of game time twice in the history of the NFL? Both times
Titans.
Both times it was the Patriots.
Yeah.
It was not against the Titans.
Dolphins.
It was not against the Dolphins.
Cardinals? Was it that snow game?
No. Once was against the Bears in 2012 or something at home, randomly. It was a touchdown and then a fumble, return for touchdown and then another touchdown. And then the other one was the butt fumble game.
Oh yeah.
Because the butt fumble was actually in the middle of it. Because it was a super long Vereen catch where they just like didn't cover him out of the backfield. He ran for 80 yards for a touchdown.
See you later.
Yep. And then the butt fumble. And then the ensuing kickoff, the guy coughed it up and Edelman caught it on the run and just ran it in for a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So nobody's ever done it except for the Patriots who have done it twice.
Thanksgiving game this year, right? Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Is it home or away?
On your hot take?
At Minnesota.
What's the hot take?
They're both going to be undefeated in that game.
Oh, shit. That was a hot take.
Spicy.
Spicy margarita.
So, Greg, we're not going to do it now because it's still too early, but are we going to do another jersey bet?
Yeah, what was our previous one?
Outcome of this, on the outcome of the season.
Oh, yeah.
We pick over under amount of wins, and I always pick the over, and you always pick the under.
You are homer, Andy.
Yeah, and I was right. So
over under on how many sacks Cam McGroin has this year.
All right, we'll see what Vegas has it set at, and I'll pick the over, and you can pick the under, and you'll owe me a jersey at the end of the season.
Well, no, you tell me how many it's going to be. Don't let Vegas. Yeah,
Vegas
hanging out with Kelly too long. She fucking bagels in Vegas. It fucking drives me crazy.
Sounds dirty. 5.5 over under.
Dude, you're right. I'll take the under.
I love that, Andy.
Right.
Let's see what Vegas. I don't know if you know if Vegas has a line for that.
I don't know if they do. They have a line for everything. All right. My best and worst. My best is the Patriots keep their streak of 2 streaks alive. The first one is this is their 30th straight game without allowing an opening drive touchdown. This I looked it up, will eventually end week 1 of next season at like 34 games. I don't know if that's a record. I've been trying to Google it and I can't figure it out.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. But 30 straight games without allowing an opening drive touchdown. That's a solid ass defense.
It's good coaching.
Yeah. A genius coaching, some might say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also their 23rd consecutive game scoring first, which helps if you don't allow an opening drive touchdown. But still,
that's a good point.
Nobody's even scored a field goal before they've scored. So Patriots are playing from ahead in 23 consecutive games, which is bananas.
It's only 16 games in a season.
Right. So even when they lose, they score first.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's my best.
All right, Andy, thoughts on Roe v. Wade?
My worst is probably Greg's performance in this. I don't think.
Can I get your immigration policy, Andy? You know what? Just do a solo podcast for
you. Know what? I would like.
You're gonna want to really hash those thoughts out.
I would like to deport you at this point. I want to deport you from the podcast.
I want to abort Greg.
Is it too late? I don't think it's too late, right? Where you can still just go murder him in his sleep and call it abortion. I'm okay with that.
Sure, dude. Sure, dude.
All right. And I guess on that note,
tune in next week to see how much of a blubbering little bitch Greg is on the Patriots Dynasty podcast. I'm going to get you, Andy, one of these weeks.
You're not the only man
with a fucking sick one.
Soundboard. Dude, yeah. Greg, do you realize how much stupid shit you said?
Yeah. Andy's got a lot more.
Do you really want me to go back and find that?
Greg's got more time to go back in to find it, Andy. You don't have that time right now. Greg's
bro, and it's
true.
Tempt me with that.
I am just here for all of this.
I'll find shit on both of you just in case either of you start listening to my earlier podcasts again.
That's the problem. I'd have to listen to it.
Yep.
See, I don't even have to do that. I can nerd it out so it'll listen to it for me and just pull out all the good quotes.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Can you keyword search it?
Yeah. No, I'm not giving you that functionality. Absolutely not.
Keyword search referee.
Yeah, and you'll hear the truth about referees. All right, here's one for you, Mr. Referees are infallible.
Commentation.
I've heard a lot on Twitter because I don't follow basketball, but I've heard a lot on Twitter about how bad the referees were in the Celtics Bucks. series.
Wait, you call Greg Mr. Referees are infallible?
Yeah.
I don't think it was what Greg saying.
Oh, he definitely is.
Calls wrong all the time. He's saying,
Yeah.
you get real upset by the commentators as well.
Oh, he was talking about referees.
The referees were bad in that series, but that's because they have no idea how to referee Giannis. Because the way he plays basketball is he just sticks his head down and just runs into people. And it's got to be a foul on someone. And like they can't figure it out because they're like, we can't just call a foul every single time, but they kind of have to based on how they referee the game now. So it's just a fucking mess.
Yep. And he's a superstar, so you can't keep calling fouls on him, and then he can't.
Because he's going to foul out, and then the NBA doesn't want that.
MVP. He just won the finals last year. He's super good.
Well, that's the difference between the NBA and this podcast. I don't mind fouling Gregory out. He's being a little bitch.
Thought you were just going to eject me from the pod right there.
Yeah, right.
So I was about to just hit the mute button.
Ding dong.
NBA refs though are the most thin-skinned little bitches ever.
Oh,
fuck it, they are.
They
have the biggest egos ever. It's brutal.
Do you want to rant about it?
Dude who was gambling with the mob, like there's a big old black stain on their whole fucking profession.
Yeah. Do you want to rant about it, Greg?
No,
good.
Not at all. I think it's fine.
All right. Well, all right. On next week on the podcast,
don't get me started on Stan Van Gundy though. The announcer, he's the worst. He's so dumb. Everything.
What's next week?
So dumb,
Greg, what's next week?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What a surprise.
17.
I mean, I don't know why I'm asking you because you're not going to watch it anyway.
The playoffs are coming. It's like the Patriots annual week 17 bye where it's like, all right, we're all wrapped up. Let's just
they have nothing to play for, right?
Yeah.
Correct. They've wrapped up the 2 seed by beating the Jets. The Jets could have made the playoffs if they had won this game, but they did not. They will eventually make the playoffs.
Let's save all that talk for next week.
Yeah.
The week.
But next week, Patriots are home, hosting the 2-13 San Francisco 49ers.
How much do you think tickets were for that game? $12.
$12.50.
Those are those games where like all season ticket holders are like, hey, you want to go to a game?
Yeah, you want to go to a game?
Old pal that I haven't talked to in a while. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this one features San Francisco legend quarterback Ken Dorsey. So that should tell you a bit about how this goes. But we will figure it out.
Let's not slander Ken Dorsey
next week.
Let's wait till we get a look-see at him.
On the Patriots Dynasty Podcast.
We'll
See you later.
Slander.
See you later.
Bye.
Fucking Craig. Useless.